And it's, whew, ah, ladies and gentlemen, you won't believe this. Just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be right with you shortly. Yes. Hmm. Okay. Well, uh, well, greetings, wonderful people. Thank you for being with us this wonderful, wonderful day, and welcome again. Welcome again to another program, another live broadcast on people in love, many casts. Yes, wow. My intention was to program broadcasts on Facebook Live and also on my computer for another program. All of a sudden now today, the computer's not giving me the information I need, the keys, everything, all that good stuff, right? And then it just won't go, won't work, right? So then this the other computer. I have two computers I've been working on and my cell phone, right? Three operation, beautiful, yay, good. But in the meantime, the phone tells me that something went wrong, right? I clicked on, got everything else set up. As soon as I go live, it goes 2-1. Oh, you cannot broadcast. Something just went. Something happened. What error? Right? Okay. So try again. So I try again. Next thing I know, trying again, same thing come up. Right? So I say, okay, whatever. Right? So anyway, wonderful people. If you see me fiddling around with a phone or something, trying to do a broadcast, I will be with you shortly. See, ah, broadcast failed. All right, so we'll go with that. Give me a buzz, give me a call, and but you know what? I'm excited. I am really excited because every time you try to do something right, do something that's going to be beneficial, do something that's going to be for the benefit of the kingdom, and we all about. I am especially about kingdom principle, kingdom progress, kingdom everything, especially the kingdom of the Most High God. So therefore, today we're talking about money. Yeah, with in our addiction, we have so many things that come about that says where you can get addicted to this, addicted to that, and sure enough, you can, right? Sometimes a person would say, well, they have problem, issues, situations, circumstances that come about, and they feel that they're hurt inside. They feel that somebody messed over them, do something wrong to them, and maybe they just like put on a little bit more weight than they should, right? But they get humiliated, they get downcast, they get jacked up most of the time, talked about, lied on, everything. So they go into that little space in their self, in their mind, in their heart, and they start to eating. They start to eating. And next thing you know, they like, whoa, okay now, wait a minute, wait a minute. So anyway, now they have an intentional desire for food because of the problem, because of the hurt, because of the pain, because of the aggravation, because of a lot of different things that come about. Now, so that's one of the addiction. Try to get rid of those urges, try to get rid of that the root causes of the situation. That's what we do. Go into the root causes of why people get addicted. And that's why I wrote the book about defeating lust, porn, and addiction. Mostly about sexual addiction because that's the hardest one, as far as I'm concerned, to say adios, get away, bye, I see you later, boom. No, I don't want to see you later. But anyway, sexual addiction is hard to get over, but it can be done. It can be that all things are possible with those who believe. So therefore, my faith said that I am healed. I'm not in recovery. And if I get into recovery, it's going to be just for a short period of time until I get my strength back. I'm going through the procedures. I'm going to do what the doctor tell me to do, which is the doctor. All right, tell me what to do, and then I do my affirmations, and then I just have the faith to believe that it's going to be all right. I'm healed. I'm delivered. I'm set free. And I am now with my sobriety. Yay! So like now, I'm going on what 28, 30 years almost with drugs. But now, like the alcohol. But see, the thing about it is, it's those desires, those urges, those wants, those needs that come about. And there's the same thing with money. Yes. See, we can have the addictions about, like I said, the drugs, the alcohol. Take a drink, you gotta have a whole bottle. To have a whole bottle, you want another one. You, you have one glass, then you want two glasses. You have a beer. There's a six pack. These are things that happen. And then you forget that, wait a minute, my mission is to do something. My mission is to join a negotiation team. My mission is just to have maybe one drink for lunch, then go back into the meeting, take notes, record, and then go back to the office, go back to my organization, and then discuss what I met, what I learned from the meeting. But no, I'm at the bar, down in 3 and 4 and 5. And then when I get to the program, I can't hardly understand what they're saying. So that alcoholism is really, really bad. And then when you get home, uh, your mate, friend, wife, however you want to call it, starts to saying something, and you don't want to know what they're saying. You don't want to be bothered. The next thing you know, you're in an abusive situation, an abuse. So we got to try to come out of that abuse, try to get a handle on ourselves, on our lives. And that's why we do these things to come up with the idea that, look, let's talk about it. And we see that in life today, not too many people talk about those issues of domestic violence. They talk about the issue of why you're addicted. They don't even talk about the addiction. Well, what about the money part? What about the money part? We keep talking about the money part. Well, it's good to have money because money is necessary. Money is necessary to buy the food, pay your rent or your mortgage, however you want to do. The living expensive, your utilities, your gas, the travel back and forth. Money is necessary. But now, here comes the situation of the money. So we get now today, especially today, more than like say years ago, 20 years ago, even 10 years ago. We're talking more about millions, millionaires, talking about 6 figures, 7 figures. 7 figures is a million, right? 6 figures is a 10th million, right? Something like that, right? 100,000, I guess, right? So now let us come to that place where do we need that kind of money? But is it available? As long as it is available in a lot of different places, a lot of different situations, because I do really believe that that pandemic really set us up for a lot of good fortunes, a lot of things that happen. Even though many people passed away in the pandemic, a lot of things that fell on different people's shoulders were still here and money to be made. But so we're talking about those people who now, well, I got to have uh 100,000 this month. I'm making 50,000 this week. Okay, so you make it, but what's your mindset? And that is the key, my wonderful people. It's the mindset of your financial situation. Not only is your mindset, but what's in your heart. Like, what's the purpose of you saying that? Well, okay, a regular job that pays maybe 200,000, regular job, boom. That's your pay. That's your salary. That's what you deserve because this is what they assume, know, hired. You have qualified with this type of money, and you got it. You take it, but you have it now, and it's your paycheck more or less, right? So what are you gonna do? But then they have a thing called entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurship is what you call going out now, making money because you have now a small business, maybe a single business, little factory, little organization, big organization, however you want to put it. Now you can make 1 million a month. Now you can make 100,000, 500,000 a month. But the point of it is, why are you making it and how are you making it and the principle behind making the money. It's good to make the money, but and if you notice, if we go scripture wise on it, it says that the love of money, love, that means that I gotta have it. I gotta make this grind. I gotta get down. I gotta get busy. Uh, and I'm gonna maneuver. I'm gonna cut throat. I'm gonna break backs. I'm gonna sidewind, uh, backstab, connive, lie, deceit. And these are the things that's happening in a lot of things, many of the things that happen towards us making money, receiving, uh, receiving a value of financial wealth and growth, riches. They see, you know what I mean? They say we shouldn't desire to be rich because if you go scripture wise, rich people in the Bible, okay, the law, the Old Testament, right? Rich people were mostly from the Lord, from God, right? Because he made many of them wealthy, made many of them prosperous. Prosperity was a thing maybe in our lifetime, and here in this state, this situation, this season, prosperity was boom, right? Every time you turn around, somebody with prosperity. You send me $40, you're going to get a check for $500,000. Boom, boom, boom. And people were gullible at that. And that's why we said money can become an addiction because this is what you want. It's called greed. That is wonderful people. Greed. And greed is fulfilling a thing called lust because you're lusting after money. That's why now, even on our social media, we get these young ladies out there, right? They make it looking pretty. You go to the gym, they fix it up. They paying maybe $1,000 for their face, their body, everything to keep it in shape. Boom, boom, boom. So you meet her. So first thing she says, "How much you make?" What? You know what I mean? So that means we call them gold diggers, right? But it's still a form of prostitution. It's still a form of greed. It's still a form of, you know what I mean? Like, I got to have money. I love money. So, therefore, those people who say, well, I want a side person, a girlfriend, which is more or less a personal prostitute. Yeah, I'm sorry, just how the ideas, boom, boom, boom. However you want to go. They call them now sex workers. But guess what? Sex is sex. But it all depends on how you're using it. If you're married, one thing, y'all enjoying each other, loving each other, caring for each other, going through the principles of partnership, how you say, appreciation, appreciate each other, respecting each other, helpers of each other. And that's what marriage is really supposed to be, together, and together we stand together. We in that community, that communion, that is. And then it's more or less a how you say, when you say we're committed to each other. Marriage is a commitment, not just say, well, I'm going to have sex with my wife and then I'm going to go out with the boys, because now all you did was use her, and that is a form of domestic abuse, just for that purpose of having sex. So we have to look at all of these things. But then we get back to the money part of it. We have people that says that, okay, we just said that about how some of the girls, the women, you gotta have this type of money. You're gonna fix my hair. You're gonna give me to pay my rent. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that. I'm gonna be your side lady, a side chick, however you want to call it. I'm gonna be your stand-in. Wow, you got your wife. She doesn't love you. She can't do what I can do for you. That is promoting that self, promoting that body, promoting uh, infidelity. So now you paying all of this money, but you're making the money. You're making 50K, 60, 75, 80, 100K. So now you have you a side woman. But what happened? What happened about situations? What happened about your life? What happened about your morals? Well, today we seen that morals are going down the road, down the hill, over the hill. Morals are in a landslide, in an avalanche, whatever, is washed down the river. So we have to get our morals back now, because this world is going fast, fast, fast into a cesspool type situation behind money, the greed, the greed. And this one of the things on the book that we have is about lust. 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 Lust is that desire that I need it, I gotta have it, I have an urge for it, my habitual, my body behavior is changed. I must have because now it's turned into an addiction, and that's why money. Because the love of money is the root of evil. Because with that money, you're going to protect it. You're going to go for it. You're going to do what you can to do to get it. You're going to do what you can do to keep it. You're going to do what you can to do to earn it, either get it, however. If you have to use some uh, underhand, undercut, bad things to get it with, talk about the grind, you're going to overcharge. You can't do anything to help somebody or to show compassion. Then they say your love is now valueless. Valueless. Your money has become valueless because one thing about it says that you came with nothing and you're gonna leave with nothing. You can't take it with you. But the point of it is that those who desire to be rich, those who want it, it's so bad that they can't help themselves. They can help themselves, but then it takes the method, it takes a strategy, it takes something that stronger sometimes than we are in order to come up out of that type of a mentality. And this is what we're doing now today. It's giving you a chance, the opportunity to come up out of that mentality to say that, okay, so you're making, okay, I would say like, okay, make it be about $1 million a year. $1 million is good. But then looking at the future, you don't know the value of the inflation. You don't know the depth of inflation or whatever. How $1 million may be like have to $20 million in the next 10 to 15 years in order to compensate for the $1 million today. That kind of stuff is coming down the road, people. You can feel it. And that's one of the reasons why I think that a lot of people are really trying to accumulate that financial goal. And then, but the financial goal now is consuming their mind, is consuming their heart. So the next thing you know, they're having strokes, heart attacks, digestive problem, cancer, and then just plain old going crazy. You know what I mean? Because they're not getting the rest. And I'm seeing now on social media that so many people are not getting that proper rest. They don't even know how to rest. They don't know about relaxation. They don't know about meditation. They don't know about prayer. Their prayers like help me to get more, help me to get more, help me to get more. Oh, I thank you. Yeah, oh yeah, they're grateful. But is that gratitude sincere gratitude? Is that gratitude well the money that you make, is it to be helpful for someone else? Are you taking some of that wealth that you've accumulated and then turn it into a goal, a goodness, not just to say, well, I can get a write off for my income tax or my IRS, you know what I mean? So I don't have to pay taxes on this if I can write it off, this and that. Just do something for somebody. Because we see now that some of the sports figures are doing just that, just that. And I'm so grateful and I am so blessed to hear that this is something that's been done, that they're helping people, they're helping in the community. But then here the community come nowadays, maybe overstep the boundaries, not taking advantage of the goodness, but they misusing the people that are helping them out. So we have to really come down to help train and educate. That's what we're doing now in these meetings and these messages, trying to educate the public about how to be humble, how to be sensible, how to have compassion, how to have uh, love and sincerity and clarity in your heart, in your mind and spirit, not to let these things take you down and send you into an early grave. Because one thing about the love of money, one thing about the desires for to be rich, it will put you into a place of entrapment. and then you'll be destroyed. Because once you get it trapped, you start to doing things. That's why we have people that go to the gambling casinos and things like that. They don't mind spending all that they have with the desire to make more, to make more. Okay, so you want to make more. Well, I want to leave a legacy for my children. Good, leave a legacy for your children. But what are you doing? How are you going to leave a legacy for your children? Are you investing? Are you training your children so that when they get to some age now, will they just go through your money like water? So we find out now that this is what happens, that you're not teaching our children, training them in financial literacy. They're not showing them how to invest, not showing them how to do savings. Because one thing about it says that to help people to give, and then don't feed them false information. And sorry to say, but this is what happens sometimes in our religious institution. We feed false information so much. And I hate to say this, but it's the truth. The truth is the truth is a light. So we are too involved with that greed, with that lust, and that corruption to help someone through a bad day, a bad time, or either to teach and train our children the value of money and the need for the money. Yes, need for it. So, but the next say, but don't put in the love for it. It's all about your attitude and your disposition towards money. So why would you have a place, a situation in life one for people that you say that, well, I'm making it, it's mine. I do what I want to do with it. Of course, it's yours. You do what you want to do with it. But what about the person that needs help? They can't help themselves. Are you talking to them? Are you helping them out? Are you giving them a piece of bread? Even if you don't put some meat between the bread, are you just giving them a piece of bread? Are you giving them a cup of coffee and some water? These are some of the things that helps you in your life prosperity, so that more can come to you. Never mind sending somebody $100, $200, $1,000 looking for a, 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 a downfall from the sky, the end of the rainbow pot of gold. But that neighbor, that friend, that person that you've never seen before, that you don't know, that's walking around with no shoes on, that's walking around with the same old coat on, and you know you have an extra coat, take it to them, give it to them. You know, I could say this one time before, is that I had some of my winter gears from the military, right? And I mean, that winter gear from the military is winter gear. That'd be like, whoa, especially back in those days, right? When they made stuff and they made it to last, they made it to be effective for the situation that you wanted to do, right? So this guy came to the house one night. It was snowing, it was cold too, I mean. But I knew the guy was on drugs, but he didn't have anything on. He had a little jacket on. He was freezing behind on. And I say, oh Lord, have mercy. So I said, I'm letting you use my Parker, right? And I mean, it's like, look like an Eskimo, because that's how nice they are, right? So anyway, about a year later, I said, hey man, what happened to my coat? Oh man, over in the basement, I guess. I don't know. Like, okay, you know what I mean? I wanted to get so upset, but then I'm thinking about how it is when he was in need, and he was like in that place where you get frostbitten. He could have been chilled and out there having hypothermia. All those things can come to him, and I had the opportunity to help him out for that day, that time. And we keep fussing and carrying on about we doing things for people, and people never pay us back. But that's not our reward. That's not our situation. Whether they pay us back or give it back to us or whatever. Because one thing is that, like, oh Lord, please don't let me do this. He said, lend, give it to them, lend it to them, but don't ask for it back. What? Lord, don't question me. You know what I mean? So anyway, this is what happened. We are so bent on beating people up, beating people down, running and chasing them down, uh, hurting them, tearing up their cars because they owe us $1. You know what I mean? Or cussing them out, talking about them, swearing at them. But sometimes, if you just feel like, okay, look here, because they're gonna come back to you, and they say, well, I need this, I need that, and you say, well, remember the last time I helped you, and you didn't have the courtesy to say thank you. And I saw you splurging a couple of times, and you passed by me, and now you say you want some more money. I don't believe you. So that person is really hurt now because they probably in that position where they really, really, really need it for real, for real, for real. And then you have to like, oh, Lord, help me out, right? You know what I mean? So you might eventually help them, but you always let them know. Let them know where it comes from. Let them know what it's about so that they'll learn. And sometimes it might take them a couple of times to learn or to get it into that spirit that no, let me play not play with people, but their money. You know what I mean? But this is what happening with our money, not for people. It's how you say in the Old Testament, we have to go there. There's so many scriptures talking about prosperity, so many scriptures talking about riches, so many people talking about people getting rich, being rich, having prosperity, and God made them prosper. God made them prosperous. Even though most of the people of the industry back in those days were agriculture, which is having a vineyard, an orchard. They make wine like, hey, wow, wow, wow. You know what I mean? It's like seems like every little community had their own little wine place uh, from the local uh, how you call it nurseries with the trees and the vine vineyards and all this stuff in it, right? So they made their own little wine. And they had the little parties. They didn't have to go down to the wholesaler and get a couple of cases. So anyway, so this is the one thing about it. But the point of it is that they had industry going back then. They had fishing industry, and then they had the wine making industry, then they had the wheat to make the bread. So the consumption, and then they had few people that had lambs and sheep, the goat, and a few cattle. But the cattle wasn't really that much back in those days. They not like on the Lone Star Range or something like that. No, mostly was lamb or goat. So they had their food. They had a little meat. Mostly had bread and some wine. Boom. Bread and wine and a little dried fish was a staple. And this is how they survived. You didn't have, you may have a little homelessness, but you didn't have too many people starving to death, being out there eating out of garbage can. Not too many. And that's already the reports that was given throughout the scripture. People help take care of each other. And that's what we have to do today in order to maintain a certain status quo about the financial feelings, financial freedom. Certain things we have to do to keep ourselves in the right position, the right place. So don't get all upset about, well, like I don't want to make too much money because God said, yeah, don't lie on God. God said, if you desire to be rich, if you have the love of money, God said a rich man can fall into temptation and situation and desires that would keep him out of the situation, out of the kingdom. Because it's hard for a rich man to get into the kingdom of God because his mind has become so entangled with that money. Now he think he all of that in a barrel of chips because now He's making a record deal. Now he's out there. It made him a little how you call it, a little situation on YouTube, Amazon, or one of them other places. And it's all right to make a couple of $1 million. Just boom, just like that, right? Either go sell a course. You got 300 million people in the United States, especially the United States, but you're working worldwide. So you might have maybe a course that's important. 300 million people, $2 million is no money. And that's how the mentality you got to look at it. But then it's a value of what you're doing. You're not conniving, you're not jiving, you're helping people. That's why when I wrote my book, it's like, okay, I brought the price down to all the way down to $10, right? But people say, well, I'm not addicted, da, da, da. But I'm here to tell you right here now is why we're making these programs and letting you know that addiction can come so easy. And once it gets its hold on you, it gets a hold on you, and then you can't really just walk away. Addiction is something you don't walk away like you do with your spouse. You can't leave out the door, jump in your car, and ride downtown or ride out of town or over the hill. Addiction is something that's going to hold you down, put you in a bad place, put you in a bad situation, and eventually cause a destruction, cause you the destruction. It also cause you, especially with financial, cause you to commit suicide. So please, wonderful people, think about these things. Think about them. I'm here to help you. Call me. I'll talk with you about any of your addiction. We'll help you to get through some of the things because our program is different from the regular. I'm sorry to say, no, I'm not sorry either. Because I went to a couple of meetings. And the first thing they say, you have to introduce yourself. My name is Michael Jones. Well, I'm an addict. I'm a druggie. I'm an alcoholic. And I'm a sex fiend. And you have all these three things at one time, and people looking at you like, damn, bro, you all right? But so when I went to the meeting, I just said, my name is Michael. And they said, well what bring you here? What do you mean what bring me here? I'm here, now I'm getting an attitude. But like, why do I have to confess or say that I'm a drug addict? Why do I have to confess or say that I'm an alcoholic when I say by the stripes of the blood of Jesus that I am healed? So I'm no longer that what I used to be. Once I determined that I'm going to go to a meeting to clear myself, to clear my record, to clear my body, to release myself from the toxicity of these things, I'm no longer called myself, I'm not putting that mess into my subconscious to say that I am an addicted person. Well, once addicted, always addicted because you'll never get healed. Who told you that lie? Because way back in there when Fraud and Johnson and all of them were writing these little books about their friends getting addicted, and they would always go back to that wine and go back to that little jug, beer, whatever, and they saw that, oh well, these people ain't getting addicted, so they wrote down in their little books that once you get addicted, you ain't never addicted. But that's a lie, because when Jesus Christ helped you through your addiction, and you do the right formula, and that's what we do. We have some strategies that help people. And one of the things that we do, we have affirmations. During the day, you make your affirmation. I affirm that I will, I can, I must. I am free. I am secure. I am safe. I am no longer an addicted person. I am healed from alcohol. I am healed from drugs. I am healed. You keep telling yourself, I am healed, because that's what faith is all about. If I can speak to that mountain and it can move, why can't I speak to that addiction? Why can't I speak to my mind and say, I no longer desire these things? And that's what we do to overcome, to defeat those desires, defeat those urges. Then you can go to a wedding. You can go to your daughter's wedding, You can have a cocktail, champagne toast without going across the street and buying a whole bottle. You can do that. In a hot summer day, you can have a cold beer and a cold soda if you want to, and you go on about your business, do your work. But no, but when you're addicted, oh well, you can't touch nothing, out of sight, out of mind, and you must get rid of course, when you first started the journey, you have to get rid of all that stuff, do go to turkey. But being cold turkey is another thing. What we do is try to get you to wean from those things. Instead of saying cold turkey, there are some things I would say cold turkey may be good for. Well, I don't know, because I never had some of the other hard drugs that some of the people be having, and I see like the effect it have on them. But when I was doing my little mess, my little action, weaning, I would deliberately use maybe a taste, a little bit, a half, and then maybe like the, the night or the hours later, I might take another whatever, a drink. But then at first was a half a pint was nothing for me. A pint was nothing for me. 6-pack was nothing for me. But then I saw this commercial. It says on the potato chip, bet you can't eat one. And I said, I bet I can. See, you have to have that determination. And when you have the help and support that can help you and guide you through, then you can make it through. With that in mind, wonderful people, oh, wow. I just want to bring it to you. I'm sorry about the delay, about the other things, but next Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I pray that we'll be back together, because one thing about it, if you see things that's happening like this, that interferes, you know right away, it's called warfare. Warfare. That's how I look at it. I'm not going to be naive or either in denial that warfare does not exist. And they call it, well, mental illness. There's a lot of things about mental illness. A lot of things. But let's determine something with mental illness and something just plain old demonic spirit. All right. So anyway, thank you for being with us today. Hit me up, call me, send me a message, send me something to let me know that you heard me, saw me, listen to me, and then listen to the replays. Please listen to the replay. And I'm quite sure that you'll see that, wow, money can be addicted once you let it get out of hand, once you can't control yourself, can't control your desires, your thoughts, and your mentality about money. Then next thing you know, no matter how much you have, it's not enough. And then next thing you know, it's gone because you have not processed it. You have not used the proper uh, light or the proper mentality in regards to your money. That's it. That's it. So with that in mind, wonderful people, I thank you for being with us, and I hope to see you again next week or even through the week on other platforms and other programs. So with that in mind, be blessed, be blessed, be blessed. And now, bye.